Okay, first thing with stock taking is that you need to use Chrome if you're not already. First step is to go to stock and then stock difference list and clear the stock take to make sure there's absolutely nothing in there before you start. Next you go to the stock take and click on load stock to load up a copy of all your stock into the scanner. Next you start scanning your stock. Now TST is one item I've got. Right. Test, enter, and you'll see it's expecting 101. I've scanned 1. I'm looking for 100 more of these things. Now as I scan, it counts against what's expected. In this case I've got 1 extra. If you happen to scan this is something that the scanner doesn't know about, it will show it red, in which case it pays to just check that you've actually got it before you go on. So the easiest way is just to go up here, probably no results. Now if this happens, you really want to load this item up before carrying on. So to do that, go to load stock, right click, open a new tab, and you can just keep this open constantly so you can go back and forwards between the two, don't get confused. Paste that in there, click search. In this case the system's found it, so it's no problem, you can put that item through, it's there. But if it wasn't there, like this, you need to enter this into stock and click add to site before carrying on. Now if something was to happen and the browser crashes, what you scanned actually gets remembered by the scanner. So go back to here, scanner, stock take. You can't see it here, but it is actually remembered. So if I submit this, okay, don't click prevent here, you need these to pop up. Go to the difference list and select all categories. Here's our 3 things we scanned with the differences. Go back to the stock take, test. Now in the case of tests, we've got lots of them and you might not want to scan them to count them, and you can just type in the quantity here instead, much faster. Submit again. Okay, and if you take a look at the difference, obviously you don't do this all the time as you're going along, it's just for me. See here the difference now is down to -50. Generally with the scanner here you're going to be scanning like a shelf load, 10-20 items before submitting them. At the end of the stock take, once you've scanned everything and put it through to the difference list, you want to go through your differences and probably check a few just to make sure you've got it right. So this one's saying -50. Now the way it works is you add the difference to the expected, so 101 plus -50 will give you 51. Now you want to, perhaps if you think that's a bit odd, you might go and check on the shelf to see that that's actually the correct number, and then you can adjust this difference if it's not. If it's a little easier, you can do it category at a time. So like this is classical. Pick the classical category from here and you get just the differences for that category, so it's a bit easier to find. And to submit this, you click submit and that'll change the stock value. Now the value is only changing for what you see in front of you. Now, at the end of going through categories, you select all just to make sure you haven't missed anything and submit them as well. Those are the scanned items. You need to do exactly the same for unscanned items. Now if we select that, these are things that the system thinks you've got but you haven't actually found in your stock take at all. So you need to do the same thing with those, check the differences and submit them at the bottom. Now I've only scanned very few, so obviously most of my stocks are unscanned in this test, so I'm not going to submit this, but you would.